Welcome to the April 2023 Astrology video. This is Diamonds in the Sky Astrology, our place for all things astrology and tarot. This is a video that's going to be quite interesting in as much as April is interesting. There's only two planets that are going to be making ingresses into different zodiac signs this month. And the luminaries are interesting. We see our first eclipse occurring at the end of April and starts a 6-month eclipse cycle. So enjoy the content coming your way, and thank you so much for tuning in. As we open up the month of April, the sun continues in the sign of Aries. All planets are direct. So there's a lot of momentum and a lot of action we're thinking about, we're inspired about, we're ready to make some moves. So if you're feeling like your life is picking up speed, you've got momentum, that would make sense considering there's nothing in retrograde and there's nothing holding you back at the moment. There's been big shifts and changes with some planets into different signs given. However, we are tracking along quite nicely. We're moving forward and confidently, and we're also aware of the road ahead and the dreams and aspirations that we'd like to make into our everyday realities. The planet Venus and Mercury are ingressing into different zodiac signs in April. However, the planet Mars continues in the sign of Cancer, Jupiter in Aries, Saturn in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces, Pluto in Aquarius, and Uranus in Taurus. So the personal planets being Mercury and Venus are the only two planets this month in April that are going to ingress into different zodiac signs. April 3, we see the planet Mercury leave the sign of Aries and go into the earthy Venusian sign of Taurus. This is when we are aware that we are thinking, strategizing, and communicating about our finances, our relationships, our personal relationships with our physical body, and even down to what we're ingesting. Taurus is associated with taking its time and moving quite strategically and slowly. There's not a lot of change. So Mercury here has a moment of slowing down and thinking quite methodically about the logistics of our everyday life and abundance. Are we looking at all the options available to us? Are we considering different moves in regards to communicating about our personal relationships, finances, and physical bodies? Is there other views of points that we haven't considered? And this is when we are entertaining a lot of different intellectual dialect. April 6th, we see our first lunation of the month, and it is a full moon in the sign of Libra. Full moons are culminations, achievement points when it is in a full moon phase. This is when things are out and illuminated for us all to see. And in the sign of Libra, it's our collaborations, our relationships, our agreements, and contracts. Are we at a point where we're shaking hands, signing on the dotted line, making deals? Are we happy to continue on with other people or what we've agreed to date? Or are we moving on and graduating on our own and leaving a cycle behind that has been binded to other people? We have the Sun and Jupiter conjunct in Aries at the time of this lunation, and that is very empowering. We're feeling very aware of our own instincts and what we'd like to see grow in our futures. So at the time of the full moon, are we happy to integrate and become part of something or someone that is binding? Or are we happy to be solo and move on with grace at the time of this full moon? On April 11, the planet Venus is ingressing into the sign of Gemini. Here's a more light-hearted moment for us all to enjoy with this transit. Venus in Gemini is having fun. She's having a lot of different conversations and interactions with groups and people. She's online more. She's also flirtatious and has a fantastic sense of humor. So when Venus dips into this sign, this is when we're aware of talking with other people or listening to ourselves about what mentally stimulates us, what fires us up in regards to information and communication. This is a fun transit. So you should be feeling a bit of a shift. There's a lot of humor on hand to enjoy within the self and reflected outside of us. On April 20, we see the sun leave the sign of Aries and enter into the sign of Taurus, the earthy sign of Venus. The sun in Taurus represents a time to integrate all of the information and inspiration in Aries season and look at the work ahead. This is when we are solid in the logistics. We're aware of what's needed to continue to grow our personal abundance, continue on cultivating our relationships, our finances, and having a deeper look at our own physical bodies. The sun in Taurus is a moment when we are enjoying the good things in life. Being a Venus ruled sign, she is very much letting us all enjoy time out with people and interacting with others. Yet there's a seriousness attuned to Taurus in as much as it's continually staying on the same path. And this is when we're aware we might need some change if we are not feeling in flow with abundance and feeling good every day in regards to the physical body, finances, and relationships. So there's a double energy going on April 20 with big changes in the sky. The sun ingressing into Taurus, and here we have our first new moon eclipse in Aries, kicking off the eclipse cycle, which lasts for up to 6 months. A new moon in Aries could make you aware that it's time to make a pivotal strategic change or move in your personal life, or it may be reflected from outside of you that something is happening quite acutely. The only precaution, if you will, I give in advice about a new moon eclipse in Aries is it's going to take some time for it to come to fruition what you are wanting to act on. It is also a time of checking in before you take that leap of faith. Is it what you want? Because there are repercussions because you are making acute changes that you are acting instinctively on. Be grounded, be aware when there's an eclipse, and especially in the first zodiac sign of Aries. But this is when we are all experiencing this frequency and vibration of the eclipse cycle, and it is no doubt a beginning for us all. If there isn't enough excitement to date in the month of April, we get to April 21 and we see the planet Mercury in Taurus going into a retrograde. Retrogrades are quite simply a moment and opportunity to rethink about what we've learned since April 3 in the sign of Taurus. Are we on point with our everyday lives, with our bodies, our relationships, our finances? Do we need to consider different options? It's the moment when we have a green path to change our minds before Mercury goes direct and we are solidly anchored in on our decisions. April 2023 is loaded with change. In as much as the lunations and the personal planets making changes into different zodiac signs, you should feel some significant shifts this month. And if you're not ready to act or make any changes, you're given a cosmic green pass to think carefully about your own personal experience and life before you move forward. Thank you for the liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. I appreciate it. And if you're interested in astrology and after an astrological reading with me or a tarot reading, I can be contacted at diamondsinthesky@yahoo.com. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a fabulous April, and I'll see you in the month of May.